Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing alright. It's time for the abnormal barders. Yes, today we have every single skin here being abnormal except the furnace, alright? So, if you're a little bit confused, abnormals, what are they? Please consider looking in the description of this video. I have two videos provided which can help you out to understand what abnormals are. Just to give you a very quick, brief explanation, abnormal skins will appear at a predetermined set time, which we know about, which tonight will be 1 o'clock in the morning UK time, which will be happening in about an hour and a half's time from here on now. And basically, because we know when they're going to become marketable, we can figure out prices that we might want to offer. And then we can quickly race to try and be the fastest person to put a barter down. Because in the future, if we have barter priority, we could pick these skins up for a much cheaper price, sell them for their actual prices, and walk away with some sweet, delicious profit. So look in the description, you'll see two videos provided. There is a short 60-second video, which will briefly go over all the details. But if you want to go for a much more extensive sense of understanding how to identify abnormals, and understanding the time changes during the year for when they appear and whatnot, consider watching the second video. It's about 20 minutes long, but it will explain everything to you. Sounds good? Cool. Right, so, as I said, all of these skins today are abnormal except the furnace, and based on what we see of the sales so far, it's kind of impressive, but I'm quite surprised to see the likes of that neon storage right there. It sold 10,000 less compared to the previous week, but it's still a lot, so that's still something we have to question. Now, of course, we have also had a lot of skins being submitted over the past weekend, and as of Monday, we've seen a lot of continuations, which I will be bringing up to you. So, shall we just jump in, go through all of the skins in order of, how much they sold, and then we'll figure out what prices we might want to offer. Sounds good? Let's get going. Okay, so, Neon Small Food Storage. In comparison to the previous week, we know that the fuel storage from the previous week did 46,484 subscribers. And pretty much throughout all of the week, it's been on the front page of the Rust Steam Market. It has a lot of listings. It has a lot of support. It is currently sitting there ever so nicely in the positive. And let me just quickly get my extensions on so you can see everything perfectly fine in terms of dollars. There we go. Yep. So that's currently sitting there at just over $2. Now, initially last week when we saw the continuation appear, that being the food storage, this spiked up to $4 at one point. It has gone down, most likely due to the fact that more people have listed theirs. As I always say, never judge a skin's value until you've seen everyone who bought it have the ability to sell it. So we can't fully judge it until technically tomorrow. But from what I can see there, I'm not surprised. A lot of listings. On average, most Rust skins usually only have around 100 quantity. That has over 300. So let me put it this way. My current expectations with the likes of these neon storages are, so as long as we keep seeing more being accepted, they will comfortably probably sit around between $1.50 to $2, which is better than their $1.49 prices. But the second that we notice it stops, that's where I think problems will start to arise. So the expectation was, with the likes of all of these neon small storages that we'll be seeing being accepted, they are very likely to go down below the Rust price around the autumn-fall seasonal dip. September, October, November, alright? We're going to see a lot less people playing during that period of time. Let's just quickly show you an example between the difference of the summer of 2023 and the autumn-fall season of 2023. We saw average player counts going all the way up to about 95,000 during the summer, but during that autumn-fall seasonal dip, it went down to 69,000. We lost a third of the player count, and therefore, with a lot less people playing, a lot less demand for skins. Now, if we can quickly remind ourselves, we have an absurd amount of these that have been sold, and there's going to be a lot of them being thrown on the Steam market during that period of time where a lot of people stop playing for a while. Yes, they do return during the likes of the Christmas time and post-Christmas, but you've been warned, alright? You're being warned. Whilst that's nice, and it clearly has signs of strong demand, it's nice to see, will we actually see this continue to even more skins? Well, I can confirm, of course, if you've seen the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks, we have seen another storage being submitted, so let's just quickly go over to the workshop here, and I can confirm we have a small med storage. Doesn't matter whatever it is, so as long as we see more of these small neon storages being accepted, the momentum stays strong, it holds up nicely. So if you're feeling very confident with this, and I will sit here and say, based on my own opinion, I get the feeling we're probably going to see maybe 6 to 10 of these being accepted. It would seem really, really odd to only have 2 of these accepted as a supplementary extra additional thing for the Neon Storage Collection, which of course only consisted of large boxes for a very long time, 3 years to be precise. I think we're getting between 6 to 10. Now, If we do get meds, okay, that's not too bad. I do hope that we see some other newer ones, like cards. Some people have said diving gear, tea/seeds, you know, like berry and whatnot. If you want berries, just say tea. You want a tea box, that's what you want. Anyway, you get the whole idea. We want to see some newer ones, and I know Duck will be providing that. But as of now, he's just going over some of the older ones that he submitted in the past. So we'll probably see another comp storage. We'll probably see another cards attempt. I fully believe, but I can't certify, whilst I personally feel confident we'll be seeing more, Face Punch decides. And you saw some pretty interesting choices last week where Face Punch decides. Okay? But it is the summer, and the North American kids are now out of school. There's going to be a lot more people playing. Tomorrow, we do have the expectation of matching up to a very nice high peak player count compared to what we saw last year. Around 161,000 people playing over the course of this weekend and whatnot. Let's see if that does happen. Because, yeah, more people will be jumping in. More people see that Neon Storage has returned. More people probably want those skins. And the price will remain a little bit better. So, as of now, even though there is an absurd amount of these being listed, after an absurd amount of those were bought, if we keep seeing the momentum continue with more acceptances, there shouldn't be too much to worry about. So, Hedge, does that mean I should go buy some? No, let's do the barters first, then you can consider it, alright? But I'm going to sit here and say I wouldn't be surprised if we see barters going all the way up to $1.49 today. Because the very second that we saw that food storage being accepted last week, barters just rose away above and beyond, and at one point we saw barters going up to about $3.30 at one point on this storage. But as I said, over time more people were able to list theirs and put it on the Steam market. The prices did gradually go down a fair bit. So if you're thinking, oh yeah, I could make a quick flip profit, is it going to be fully worth it? Let's say, you know, we see the likes of the food storage ending up in the exact same position next week as this fuel storage, where it's currently sitting here at $2 with barters going up to $2, right? Is the profit going to be that good to you based on the risk? Because other people might probably start listing theirs a whole lot more. You know, like as of now, this is fine. But will we keep seeing more and more and more listings? Or will it get cut away? Like, will this get cleaned out if we now know, based on tomorrow's outcome, if we see another one being accepted, that we're comfortably going to probably see maybe 6 to 10 of these, that's the theory, will that get cleaned out and will the price rise up again? Or is it going to slowly keep getting more and more listings? Is it going to slowly go down to $1.50? Do you understand that this can it could go either way? But personally, I think I will be going quite strong with the barter. So you've got to look at this in two different ways. As I said, in the short term, during the summer, yeah, no, it very likely will be retaining its value. It very likely will be a profitable skin that you can quickly flip. But is it going to be enough money that you're going to care about that? Maybe. Okay, that's fine. I'm sitting here saying I'm still worried about the autumn-fall seasonal dip. I'm going to do $1 for my safe buy order, but I might go up to about $1.40, maybe $1.35 for my strong buy order. And after the end of tonight, you know, when we look at the abnormal buy order support, if it has buy orders going all the way up to $1.50 again, yeah, you could go buy some if you so wish, all right? If we don't see a small storage tomorrow, I mean, you could... Whatever you do with your storages after that, that's up to you. But we got to see another one appear tomorrow. Now, maybe they take a week off. Maybe they take just a week break from it. Okay, maybe that might happen. But based on what I've seen in the past with these neon storages, we saw like one accepted every single week. All right? So, I know I'm a little bit all over the place. I understand that. I'm sorry to say. But you can understand, whilst it might be fun and fine during the likes of the summer, which I'd say probably would only really last for about another 2 months, be warned, you've got to sell these during that time. Because once the time's up, it's going to get a whole lot more listings on the Steam market and there will be problems. Fuel storage as of now probably will have more problems, but in theory, it's had a lot more extra potential skins being accepted after it. Because again, if we see meds tomorrow, then it should still be alright, and the food will be alright, and everything will be alright until it stops. So, yeah, again, it's not a straightforward answer, but I've got to be clear with you, there can still be problems. Enjoy the potential positives now. Maybe don't buy an absurd amount of these, alright? Because remember, you've got to sell all of them. And if you don't sell them in time, you're stuck with them. And the price will go down. So, yeah, $1 as my safe long-term buy order, thinking that, okay, at some point around October time, which typically is the month where we see a lot of skins reach their lowest point of the year, I believe I'll pick up a bunch of them, and during the likes of post-Christmas, you know, January time, I wouldn't be surprised if I probably flip these for a very nice profit around then. And as time goes on, these small storages I will expect to gradually, nicely appreciate and gradually increase in price. This behaviour is exactly what happened to the large storages. They weren't just instantly in the positive. Now, some of the initial ones at the very beginning, yeah, they kept getting more and more valuable as more and more of them were accepted. But a lot of the ones in between, unfortunately, did struggle a fair bit. They did end up in the negative. They did have problems. But now, look at them. They just gradually and graciously rose up in price as time went on. Cool. Kind of lost my voice there. Been yapping too much. So in short, $1 to $1.35. If you want to go stronger, feel free to do so. But honestly, you're at a point there where it's like maybe you just want to end up just buying the thing. So, hey, we'll see. We'll look at the support later and we'll figure that out. So let's move on from here. Let's discuss the Watcher of Doom garage door. Right. So that's done almost about 18,000 subscribers. Cool. Oh dear. Okay, look, listen. We have seen a continuation appear. Did you see my little video that I posted? Let's go over to here. Did you see this? This is something I might try and do from here on now every single week. But I just did like a little snippet showcasing a whole bunch of new continuations I saw over the past weekend. So I showed off the likes of Neon Storage. I had that very cool looking glow-in-the-dark double door there, toxic armored door and whatnot over here and whatnot. I do show off the large box there as well, so I just wanted to point that out. I hope you saw it. This is a nice continuation, but there's a very funny thing currently going on. Because everybody expects Neon Storages to be 100% certified acceptance, you know. If you were to take a look at all the newest skins that are submitted, you might notice only 2 storages were submitted this week, the Neon Storage and the Watcher of Doom. Huh. So, I'm under the impression that every other skin creator's like, yeah, Neon Storage is just going to probably get accepted. Let's make something else. Clearly, Falco and Alloy thought, nah, let's just go make a large box. And, hey, it looks cool. It looks nice. It's shiny. The Sauron eye stares at you. It's very noticeable at night. I'm pretty sure that would be nice and appreciated if we were to see that being accepted, all right? But for now, we have to question, will we see that anytime soon? And what might happen with this garage door specifically? Okay, cool. So, problems. Garage doors. There's always a very cool looking garage door being accepted every now and then. So far this year, we've had some pretty cool options. Wow, Shadowborn's gone into the negative. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, anyway. Recently, we just had a very cool looking Twitch drop. Rhymer garage doors accepted very recently, and people seem to appreciate that still. That's nice to see. But don't be surprised if at some point over the course of the next month, or in the next 2 months, or at some point, we see another very cool looking garage door. Maybe a Twitch drop. Maybe just a general skin that you'll see in the Rust store. Watcher of Doom is another deplorable collection that's trying to get more skins accepted, but I've got to sit here and say there's about 15 of them. I'm not joking. In fact, as I look over to here, we'll be discussing the same exact point with the likes of Clan Base in a minute. We're in this very weird spot where it's like there's so many deplorable collections desperately trying to get another skin accepted that they all compete with each other, and annoyingly, it's ended up with a very weird spot where so many of these collections only have like 2 or 3 skins accepted. And they just kind of like stagnate and lose interest, and the values of their skins just go down. And I'm very worried that Watcher of Doom might end up in the exact same spot. So let's just quickly take a look at the very silly videos and GIFs that we see here. We can see how you can make like Mount Doom. Very funny. But whilst it's silly and whilst it's funny, there will be another one. There will be another one. There will be another one, not like exactly like Sauron, but there'll be another funny cool looking skin, or glow-in-the-dark thing, or something referencing some big franchise. You know what I'm talking about. So basically, that's a $3 garage door. I worry about what could come out after it, and I'm not super confident that we're definitely going to see a large box being accepted anytime soon. However, that large box doesn't really have any competition at the moment. We did just have this being accepted. Just want to get that across, but it's not like completely out of the ordinary to see another large box skin being accepted after one was already accepted quite soon. So just get straight to the point. Whilst there's still potential positives for it, I'm not fully confident that it's going to retain its price. Sorry to say. Anyway, so with the likes of this collection, don't be surprised if it ends here, because it's happened like this so many times already so far this year already to many other collections. Maybe it does get accepted. Alright, that'll be nice. We'll see how that develops from here and now. But even now, with the amount that's sold, I still question it a lot. So in terms of a price to offer for that, my answer is I'm probably only going to do $1 to $1.50. I know. I don't think that I'll be enjoying the next let's just say the next few weeks from here and now. I do worry we're probably going to be seeing some more cool looking garage doors dropping, and I have seen some being put down this past weekend. So yeah, you might see kitties. I'm not joking, we saw them. So yeah, $1 to $1.50. I'm conflicted, and it's hard to explain everything fully, but how many times so far this year we looked at a deplorable collection that's only just getting started, and then it didn't get anything else afterwards? And I just showed you there a second ago, even the Shadowborn garage door has now started to go in the negative, which you can see right there. Wow, was not expecting that. That just goes to show that we see far too many garage doors being accepted, we have far too many to compare to, and, well, unfortunately, a lot of them don't retain their value very nicely. So let's move on. Let's now talk about the likes of the Nocturnal Beast AK-47. Right, so let's just quickly talk about this. First of all, the design, very cool. Mr. Diaz has put out a lovely skin right here. The wolf at night looks awesome. But did we see a continuation over the past weekend? Yes, we did. It's developing into a very cool looking animal set. This time we have a bear. The bear is angry. Show the gif. Angry bear. Right, so anyway, the point I'm trying to get across is this very likely will develop into a weapon collection. I have to bring this up though. By default, what do weapon collections tend to look like? Not great. They tend to not hold their value very nicely, do they? Yeah, I'm very sorry to say. As much as I'd like to see this being accepted, and I do look forward to the idea of it, unfortunately, I've just noticed I skipped the Thompson. I'll do Thompson second, don't worry. But what we see here, it's an AK. Take a look at all the AKs that have come out so far this year. How well are they all doing at the moment? Oh dear. Yep. Even Sweet Dreams last week, a skin that I felt somewhat confident in, is still going down in price. MK Ultra, of course, went down in price as well. Both of these, very nice, very colourful. But what happened? 2 Twitch drops came out. You have an anime AK-47. Gentlemen, you just can't stop yourself, can you? You just need to use that one all the time. You don't want to use any other skin anymore. No, you just need the anime AK. Right, anyway, only one skin's currently in the positive, and it's only up by 3% at the moment. Oof, Vandergold's getting a bit problematic there. Anyway, so by default, I don't have a lot of faith in that. I think we're going to probably only do a buy order. Now, am I going to want to do 60 cents to 80 cents, or am I going to go a little bit stronger in that? It's a cool looking skin. It is nice. But I think I'm still going to do probably like 80 cents to $1.10. I will give it a little bit more of a push, a little bit more of a support, but I still think it's going to go down to at least half its price and potentially lower. I'm very sorry to say. There will be another AK that comes out. Wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, you know, last year, 44 AK-47 skins were introduced to the game. This year, at the current rate, from what I see, let's just quickly go take a look. And, we're halfway through the year almost. Well, technically we are. It's June. But then I guess I think you had to finish June first. Anyway, we're on track to probably match up to that. Yeah, we're going to probably see a lot more AK-47s. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. You get the idea. 80 cents to $1.10. Right, so let's move over to the likes of Thompson. I should have said that before the AK, but don't worry, I'll just go over it now. I think this actually might do quite alright. And I'm not joking. Gentlemen, let's take a look at all the Thompson skins, but more specifically, can we look at all the Thompson skins based on price? And what do I see? We got the likes of Blackout Thompson, Pirate Thompson, comfortably in the positive. Huh. If I scroll down a fair bit, we do have the likes of Cybercode Thompson, which is mostly a black Thompson. It's dark green, but point still sticks. That's currently sitting there at 31% positive. All these other Thompsons, they're not fully black. This Black Diamond Thompson, oh, I wonder. Yes, it is. It's definitely a full black Thompson with a very lovely shiny looking sheen. This looks really nice. Guys, I'm not joking. This actually might do a pretty good job of retaining its value. It seems people love a black Thompson as much as a white Thompson as well, because I actually took a look at this not too long ago. That Constructor Thompson is actually still in the positive. White and black Thompsons seem to be loved a lot. So if I go to here real quickly, go to the market, that's only got like 26 listings as well. There we are. Yeah, no, I was correct there. Well, but yeah, that's done a splendid job of retaining its value. It's a weird trend that I've noticed, and it seems to be working out perfectly for the likes of that at the moment. So I'm kind of thinking that's going to work out quite all right as well. I know. How's it going, Bolt Action Bear? Currently doing my abnormal barders discussion, sorry. But yeah, looking at the state of the Black Diamond collection in general, it is a weapon-only collection. That is a bit of a problem, but it's not like they're doomed. The AK-47 sold at $4.49. It's only down by 13%. If you look at all the other AKs that came out this year, so many of them go down by at least half. But no, not that. Still sitting there just under $4. That's not too bad. Look at the LR300, down 30%. Did we have a buff on the LR300s? Well, it still went down by 30%, but a lot of the other ones are still down by like at least 50 as well. And then we have the custom SMG. How often are you even using a custom SMG? Gun demand issues. Yeah, that's only down by 13%. Again, how many of the custom SMG skins are down by 50%? A lot. So look at this Thompson, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? I've seen that trend. I've seen the trend where it just doesn't really go down in price that much. It's a black Thompson, where I've noticed that they all tend to be pretty pricey. It hasn't sold that much. It's only done 14,000 subscribers. So if we go look at all of them based on subscriber count, let's just quickly go ahead and take a look at this. And what do we see? Well, I mean, it's in the middle. Thompson there, that Cybergo Thompson's not too far off. The recent constructed Thompson there did a little bit more sales, and it's still in the positive. I think we're good. I think we could offer a decent price for that. At its worst, could it still go down pretty low? Yeah, I do believe that will happen. But I think we can still do a fairly decent barter on it. Listen to me when I sit here and say, I think I'm going to do $1.50 to $2. Yeah? Yeah? Will this go down pretty bad during the likes of autumn, fall, seasonal dip? I don't think it can escape that. But I don't expect a lot of listings either. I think this will have a pretty good future. So I'm sticking with $1.50 to $2. You're more than welcome to offer more if you really want to, but I feel like looking at the behaviour of the past Thompsons and whatnot, I think it might do quite alright. And yeah, looking at all the other Thompsons, you know, what was the colour scheme of the other ones? That was silvery. Yeah, that didn't do super great. It's only down by 16% though. Imperial Thompson, silvery metallic, down 17%. Berserker Thompson from late last year, that's only down by 13%. Cool looking design, part of a well-established collection, yet still below its rust price. Holiday theme skin, low poly. Pirate's still holding up nicely. Chameleon is part of the Chameleon collection, only down by 3%. I'll be honest with you, a lot of these Thompsons, while some of them are down pretty bad, they're not super bad. So a smart buy order of around $1.50 to $2, about 66% of the way, probably isn't too bad. So yeah, if you're not offer more, you're more than welcome to do so. Will it have a nice future ahead of it? I will sit here and say, I think we will be seeing some more Black Diamond skins being accepted. Will it ever develop into deplorables and clothing and armour? Who knows? But I will sit here and say Bad Trip, the skin creator, has done that plenty of times in the past. So if you're confident he'll be getting even more skins accepted in the future, hey, maybe you want to jump in and put down a strong barter on it. So it's up to you. Let's move on. Gold chains, leather gloves. Right, this only did 10,000 subscribers. There's a problem though. We haven't got like a good skin to compare to, because we did not see a leather glove skin being accepted for about 3 years. So let's quickly go over to here. No, not gold chains, I meant leather gloves. The Hedge, you... This man suffers from skill issue. Alright, here we go. We could compare to the fish gloves, but fish gloves are green and part of the fish collection, which right now is getting quite a lot of love. If I were to go down over to here, well, these came out like 4 years ago, and they're part of like No Mercy collection and Blackout collections. It's hard to make a comparison. So I'm looking at this, just this. Let's just look at it all by itself. Let's question. Did we see a continuation appear over the past weekend? I can confirm to you, no, we did not. The skin creators seem to have taken a break. I can sit here and say, though, there was a skin, or rather, there was a skirt skin that was made kind of recently that might potentially appear tomorrow. Who knows? June Force White. Gold chain skirt. Maybe, we'll see. But I think they'd probably have to resubmit that or something. I did have the idea of, hey, with the leather glove skin here, just do that for burlap shoes. Put some gold rings on my toesies. I don't know what to expect for the rest of this potential collection. I'm pretty sure they'll probably stick with it still. I just don't know what else they could probably do. So I'm going to sit here and say, at the very least, do you reckon we'll be seeing any other leather glove skins being produced and submitted to the workshop anytime soon? It has happened a few times this year already from notable collections. And yet, they still weren't accepted. That one there got accepted. How often are you using leather gloves? You do get them in the boxes and whatnot, don't you? So, Yes, but I would want to wear them a lot more now because I can have gold rings on my fingers. Hey. I can't really see it. I don't think I can see it suffer because it's quite special. We are most likely just going to get a whole bunch more road sign glove skins being accepted this year and whatnot, and leather gloves will go back to being neglected. But people have tried, and only now did we see one being accepted. Maybe they'll feel the motivation to want to try again. We'll see. And I'm talking about like the Skullforced, Cursed, and what else was another one? There was another one I can't remember, I'm afraid. Yeah, sorry, I can't remember. I can sit here and say I think there was like a Forest Raiders pair of leather gloves made in the past. That didn't get accepted either. I know. So I'm looking at it and I'm skeptical. If we don't see any more leather glove skins being accepted ever, it actually might happily rise up in price because a lot of those skins they're just like there's like 41 skins in total, and there's only like 3 of them in the negative, and they're like really old, so they kept being found in loot boxes and whatnot. So, yeah. I think I'll do $1.20 to $1.80. That'll be my answer. I'm not fully confident, but I will try. I'll make a move. So if you feel somewhat confident as well, or more confident, you could offer more money, but just be aware. If these get dumped, you're picking these up. But please also be aware, they haven't sold an insane amount. There's only 10,000 subs. If you think we will be seeing more gold chain skins being produced and accepted in the future, all the better. That will be something to look forward to. Primitive skins, we do see collection continuations. We do still see spikes in demand, spikes in price. So, I mean, yeah, there is still something to look forward to. Maybe I might offer a little bit higher. But as of now, I'm going to sit here and say $1.20 to $1.80. Yeah. Okay, cool. So with that, I don't think there's much else I can say. Get a quick appreciation for the likes of that. It looks silly. It looks goofy, but that tends to work out reasonably enough. So, alright, we'll move on. Right, next up we have the clan-based large box. I can confirm to you over the past weekend we did in fact see a collection continuation. The resubmission for the Sheep Matador did take place. So there is still potentially another skin that could be accepted. That's nice to see. Kizaru does want to commit to it. But then we also have to look at the sales at the moment and question where this is going to end up at. Because with the acceptance of the large box, did it even have that much of an impact on the garage door that originally came out? No. It's still down by almost half its price. It didn't budge that much. Do you reckon this is an in-demand collection? Looking at the sales, probably not. And yeah, if we were to get another skin accepted, would it help out that much more? I don't know. I'm conflicted with this one as well. And again, much like what we said with the likes of the Watcher of Doom set, could we end up looking at another deplorable collection that stops at around 2 or 3 skin acceptances? It could happen. So, yeah. I think I just want to play it safe on this one. I have seen large box skins go down pretty badly in the past. And of course, the autumn fall seasonal dip, it's very likely going to happen all over again. Whilst certain skins here are doing better than where they were in the past, I do still worry for the likes of this one here. It has sold the least out of all the large box skins so far this year. In fact, if I were to go compare this to many other large box skins, I think it'll probably be in the middle. Slightly lower middle. You know, it's done equal sales to certain skins from back in like 2020. 2019 almost. Wow. Okay. Alright. I'll think on that a little bit more. I think I'll probably do maybe like... I think I'm just going to stick with doing $1, $1.50. I do question it a lot. I am hesitant. Alright? But then again, this very likely might be a situation where it's like, okay, it's on the Steam market and it only has 20 listings. And I don't expect that to really suffer then. Alright? So if you think, you know what, maybe you're right. Maybe it's going to end up like that. And if we do see a collection continuation, maybe it does get bought out, maybe it does improve, but is this something you're, like, clamouring for? I like the idea. I think Kizaru had a very cute little, like, idea with the whole thing. I just don't know if that's something everybody's going to go crazy for. It does glow quite brightly, especially on the sides. So, yeah, I'm conflicted, but I think I'll just probably play it safe and do $1 to $1.50. Not hating on the idea. I would like to see more. I would like to see it progress. But I would like to see him do more than just copy-paste certain parts of the thing and put it all over the skins, because he did that in Sheep Matador. I noticed, Kizaru. Right, anyway. Moving on, Sweet Dreams Custom SMG. Right, here's a bit of a problem. The Custom SMG skins in general. We did talk about this very lightly when we discussed the likes of Black Diamond skins. That Custom SMG is down by 32% now. It went down lower. all of a sudden. Anyway, do you notice many of these currently in the positive? Nope. But you do see the blackout one. But all the other ones, nope. So I'm going to sit here and say this. I'm still optimistic that Sweet Dreams will be developing into a very nice and colourful weapon collection. And yes, over the past weekend, we did in fact see the Sarskin being submitted. It is a yellow submarine / whale. This is all over the place. It is very trippy, and I know I'm pretty sure you know why. So if you think, oh yeah, if we keep seeing more acceptances, people will appreciate the very colourful weapon collection. All right, maybe it does work out quite all right. Maybe it does eventually do nicely. But that's a custom SMG, and you just saw many other custom SMGs from notable collections that are accepted this year, where they're not doing very well. We have the likes of Black Diamond, Thundergold, the Bandana, and the Chameleon. These are all collections with a lot of skins accepted, and all of them are in the negative. So I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, I'm probably only going to do maybe like, I think I'm going to do 80 cents to $1.10. I think 80 cents to $1.10. Whilst the ones from notable collections do tend to hold up a fair bit better, it's still going to get quite cheap. So 80 cents to $1.10 is my answer there. I do feel confident we will be seeing more of this collection. So I look forward to it, but I'm being realistic. I question it. So taking a step back, I'm alright. And then we have metal clothing, the metal bandana and the metal poncho. They have not sold that much. The poncho has done 5,600 subscribers and the bandana has done 6,200. Hedge, did we see a collection continuation appear over the past weekend? Yes, indeed. So over to here, as you can see, we've got that. But GBG did in fact immediately supply hide clothing, alright? So we do have hide clothing, and if we go over to here, you can see the full set right there. We're gonna be able to turn into a robot. Maybe he'll make a burlap head wrap and some burlap shoes. That means we can be a full-fledged robot. But the main point is, hey, if we see a collection continuation with primitive skins, yes, you should expect a spike in price, spike in demand, regardless. It might not be a super in-demand collection, but doesn't matter. So as long as you see more of it, it still will work out quite nicely. And both of these have sold hardly anything. So all the better for it to rise up in price. Let's just get this point across. First of all, please acknowledge, ponchos in general, they tend to not do a very good job retaining their value. We can see that right there. A lot of them are in a negative. But if I just quickly compare this based on higher subscribers, that right there is in the lower half. In fact, it's one of the rarest apparently because it sold hardly anything. But will we feel like, is it a guarantee we're definitely going to see more being accepted? I look at Crabbo Poncho, that also sold hardly anything. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more continuations appearing. That's now sitting there 36% down. That was awkward. Plus, we've also got to take a look at the likes of bandanas. Bandanas recently have done a very good job retaining their value. Yeah, that's looking pretty bad. But then if we quickly look at this based on higher subscribers, lo and behold, it's one of the, technically speaking, rarer ones. Actually, a lot of these like Twitch drops as well. But you get the point. They haven't sold that much. If we do see the continuation appear... not you, go away, you're the wrong one. If we do see the likes of those hide clothing being accepted, I mean... Sure, yeah, you'll probably see the metal clothing go up by quite a lot, and people probably want to walk around and pretend to be a robot. I would. So we'll see. But I can't help and sit there and say, even though I'm not exactly a fan of the set, it would still expect it to rise because of that. If. Chat, it took us by huge surprise to see that was accepted over many other potential options from bandana and poncho skins, alright? Do you honestly believe we'll be seeing the high clothing being accepted? Chat, my Twitch chat right there, do you believe? Do you have the faith? Do you honestly think it's going to happen? I've seen a lot of ponchos and bandanas come out very randomly all by themselves and never get a sequel. So I lean more towards no, we won't be seeing more of it. I fully believe it will probably go down in price like the Crabbo set. There's a lot of people saying yes, and there's a lot of people saying no. It got a lot of backlash. I know it did. I talked about it in my roster rotation video. So, okay. Personally, I think I'm just going to play it safe with a buy order, and I think I'm only going to offer 50 cents to 70 cents. It's a goofy choice of style. I don't have a lot of faith in it, I'm afraid. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down in price and even lower. 50 cents to 70 cents is what I'll offer. If you think, no, Hedge, you're wrong, we're definitely going to get the high clothing in the future, I mean, mate, you go for it. Offer a higher price. You're more than welcome to do so. Go on, go take the lead if you want. But if they get dumped, you're picking them up. And you will be spending a lot more money than what it'll be worth as time goes on. So yeah, I've brought up all the context for that. Best of luck with you. Now we've got one skin here that's regular. That is the Volcanic Furnace. It's the only regular skin that we have here. Guys, I think we probably want to bring up the Spanish Twitch drops. The BELLUM Twitch drops. So yeah, if you aren't fully well aware, we're going to have the BELLUM Twitch event taking place from June 10 to the 17th. It got changed. It's definitely the 10th to the 17th. Here are your Twitch drops. We are expecting more. So get a good look at all of that. I'll probably link this in the description of the video so everyone can see it. We have a Carola furnace right here. Carola's furnace, I should say. And it looks really nice. I showed it off in a YouTube video, and I can show it off right now again. So you're not frozen, are you, Hedge? You can still move, right, Hedge? Yep. Cool. Let's go put some wood in you. Let's go turn you on. Let's go get a good look at this. And let's get this point across. I don't think that Volcanic Furnace will be getting that much love, because this furnace right here, which will be given away for free as a Twitch drop, it happens to look really cool. Really cool. That is Yomagenda with these Viking runes all over it. Yeah, I know I've got an ice throne here. We wanted to see if it looked really good next to it, and it does. It looks really cool. Put two of those next to your throne. You look awesome. So yeah, just get the point across. It's definitely Viking theme with Yggdrasil on the back. Very nice. Carola with his Viking themes. Yeah, I think that'll be getting a lot more attention compared to the Volcanic Furnace, I'm afraid, which leads me to believe that the Volcanic Furnace probably won't be getting that much love, I'm afraid to say. I think it's going to go down pretty bad. I think we're going to only offer 50 cents to 70 cents. I know. I'm not going to be making a move for the likes of that. So yeah. Right, so I guess we'll probably continue with the Spanish drops. So let's go take a look at these generic drops. We have a sheet metal double door here, and it has transparency. Yes, it does glow in the dark. Look at that. Oh, I am so annoyed. I did give a lot of hints and warned you about the idea of potentially seeing a sequel to the sheet metal door from last year's generic drops. Of course, last year we had the single sheet metal door and the small box. And lo and behold, here we are. We've got a transparent glow-in-the-dark sheet metal double door right here. And yes, you can see through those holes at head height. They are transparent. This is a Twitch drop. It's being given away for free. So I hope you're looking forward to that. Now, if I could just quickly peek over to here. We have the BELLUM large box right there. Looking very nice. How about I just move out the way? Maybe that might be nice and helpful. Yep. Yeah, I'm also holding an AK-47. It looks nice. We'll show that off in a second. Yep. BELLUM large box. Very nice. Very cool. Yet again, it's another generic drop, so you don't need to watch anyone in particular. Just someone taking part in the upcoming BELLUM Twitch event. And nighttime. There you go. And get a good look at that. So yeah, that is... Oh, God, I've rotated. Right, I've unscrewed myself. It's all good. So yeah. Very bright, very noticeable, and that very likely will also be a potential problem for the likes of the clan base large box. Alright? So, you're aware of that now. Now, if I quickly rise up and look over to here, we have a sleeping bag that doesn't glow in the dark. There he is. That's his Spreen's sleeping bag right there. This is a newer Twitch drop that we've seen being submitted onto the workshop very recently. So, yeah, apparently he likes to sleep in chains and black leather. So, hey, if that's what you like... thumbs up, you know, it's all good for you, mate. We've got eBuy's transparent small box here. So yeah, this is supposed to resemble a boxing ring, considering he organises events, streamer boxing and whatnot in the Spanish world. So that looks cool. Personally, I think it looks like a Hell in a Cell. All right, I'm just saying. It does look like a Hell in a Cell. So where's my Undertaker and Mankind on the top of it? Anyway, let's go turn around and take a look at Hedge. He's wearing an assortment of things. Let's start taking some of this off so we can be a little bit more better organised. No, Hedge, not that. Let's take off the poncho and let's just quickly look at the hoodie. Yep, this is Crystal Molly's banana hoodie. We were surprised to see that was added when I had my little BELLUM showcase video earlier this week. Well, this is the hoodie in-game. It is bright, it is pink, and that is a banana. Do not say platano. It is a banana. It is a banana. Look at it. Look at it. Okay, apparently it's a platano in Spanish, whatever you call it. So yeah, that's a bright pink, cool-looking hoodie there. We also have this very goofy-looking, what's his name? E-Dead? I might mispronounce that, I'm very sorry. This is his face mask. And I should probably start taking a quick look at the likes of these extra Twitch drops in terms of the weapons. This is all-run play. Yep, this is his SAR. Yeah, good look at that. Looking very nice. Let's quickly hop over to here. Yep, there you go. Aimed in the sight, very useful yellow aim sight. Over to here we have Augusta Bell's very cool looking shiny, golden and shiny. Get more sun, Hedge, get more sun. Show that off. Look at that shine. Very beautiful. That's produced by Slonoster. Very cool looking skin. Very useful white aim sight. Maybe not in the snowy Arctic area, but I've really got to show this off. At night time, we were talking about this with the Train LR300, the blue gem from the previous event. Look at that. You can see that clear as day at night time. Now, you might not be able to spot other people clear as day at night time, but the point still remains. Look at that. You can see that very easily. The diffuse on that aim sight, very noticeable at night time. Very, very, very helpful. Yes, indeed. Cool. And then, of course, we quickly go to the SAR. The SAR is also very noticeable. The aim sight in particular, with its bright yellow, is very strong and very noticeable at night time as well. So that's something to look forward to. Very nice, very helpful, very cool. Yes. So I believe we've gone over all the newest Twitch drops that we didn't spot previously. Let's just quickly bring up all the things here. That's just a standard SAR. So, yeah, no, I think we've got everything. Let's quickly go take a look at the Poncho. There's one final one. I forgot about that. That is River's Poncho. So, apparently, she took part in the boxing event that eBay set up. And she wore that actual Poncho. Let's take that. Stop holding it. All right, there you go. Much better. Yeah, so that was apparently exactly the same Poncho she wore when she walked down and took part in the event. So that looks cool. Yep. Apparently the colours of Mexico. I believe she's from Mexico. So, cool. So, yeah. Now we can panic about, hope we don't see any sleeper bags anytime soon. Hope we don't see any more sheet metal double doors anytime soon. Large box, furnace, AK, oh no. So, yeah, and then, of course, we have, like, the other things that we saw in the previous video. We have Chocas's rock right there. It says, shut up. I will not. I will continue yapping. We, of course, also have Ariet's MP5. Now, apparently the skin creator, he saw my video and he noticed his normals didn't look very good, so he redid it. He got in a bit of a panic, so that's been redone. It's shinier, the aim sight is a lot more brighter, and at night time, you notice that a lot better as well. If it adjusts, yeah, you can see that very easily. Yep. And then back over to here. We have the likes of the Thompson. This was a newer one. You do not see that very nicely at night time. So just to quickly get that across. Yep. So BELLUM is taking place between the 10th of June to the 17th of June. I hope you're nice and ready. I am expecting at least another skin or two. I think there's still another 2 more to come. Yeah, it's a bit odd that Rubius doesn't have a skin, so I'm just pointing that out. So yeah, I think we've covered everything. I think we've got everything understood. So tab out of that. Right, so that's on the horizon, and now we have to question what to expect for tomorrow's Rustore rotation. What do we expect? Well, I did make a list earlier. So, first of all, just to get the point across, I've already mentioned it earlier, tomorrow's going to be June Force White. We expect a very nice Rustore, because we know, and I'm pretty sure Face Punch knows, we're going to expect a lot of people turning up, and a lot of people wanting to play the game, and they'll just so happen to look at the Rustore, so therefore there's a potential to make a lot of profit with some very interesting skins to choose from. Well, after the choice of clothing last week, we kind of questioned everything, but I did sit here and say, maybe they were holding out to have a very lovely selection of skins for the June Force White, because in theory a lot of profit would be made. And so, gentlemen, we have 9 potential clothing and armor choices. These are all collection continuations. I kind of want to specify, but in terms of investment, this is what you want to be looking at. So this is the Flashbacks Tier 3. We've been waiting on that for a while. Will that be accepted? Who knows, but it has competition for a clothing and armor spot. What else is potentially going to be possibly picked? We also have the likes of Apostate Tier 2. Yes, Apostate Tier 2 right there. But maybe we might see Quarantine Tier 3, yes. It's a white, cool-looking set. It is a continuation from various weapons and deplorables from the past. Who knows? Sir Q, Candytron, we shall see. But, of course, we have even more. What's that? Chameleon Tier 2. You're feeling optimistic? Do you want to be nice and shiny? Do you want to be the green Power Ranger or the purple one? It depends however you stand. Anyway, looking bright and shiny there. But what about UAP Pilot Hoodie and Pants? That'll be another continuation. It will start off the hoodie and pants and the clothing and armour and whatnot, but hey, you never know. Do you need another green set? I don't think that's going to be good for camouflage, but it will be good for abducting people. And then over to here, we have the likes of Thunder Gold, hoodie and pants. Get a good look at that. We've been very, very hopeful for the final core piece of Thunder Gold for a very long time. We would very much appreciate it. We, of course, also have the likes of Apocalypse Nomad hoodie and pants right here. With all those weapons being accepted, the skin creators decided to make a second attempt for the likes of the clothing and armour. It is rugged, it is worn out, it is fairly dirty, but it is good for surviving the apocalypse. And then we also have the likes of Fish Tier 3. There was quite a big fuss about this. We had the kilt accepted in the Rust store last week. It did not sell that much. Immediately we saw this appearing in the workshop. We were feeling pretty optimistic. So what do you think about that? Blub, 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 blub. Yep. And we also have Overheat Tier 2. This is another potential contender to be accepted in the upcoming Rust store tomorrow. So those were 9 choices, and I even tweeted it out. So if I go over to here, I have my tweet over here, quite literally asking people, what do you want to see? What do you want to see? Because, hey, if we end up getting some more metal hard clothing, I'm going to scream. Yeah! So yeah, those are some options. Feel free to go to my Twitter, look in the description of this video to take a look and, you know, vote for yourself. You know, people are quite literally sitting there saying, I want this, I want that, he wants fish, he wants fish. Post a GIF if you so wish. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm feeling optimistic for. We also have to talk about tomorrow's, of course, its actual update. So if I quickly go back over to here again, I should have clicked this. There you go. It doesn't look like Face Punch fully knows what they're going to have ready in time. What do you mean? There's a lot of stuff they've been working on over the past month, but they don't even mention it here. Pedal bikes, travelling vendor. We also have the likes of Radtown Redux. We also have the likes of Hood and Cuffs. Hood and Cuffs, apparently, are still a work in progress, but it's not mentioned in their tweet. So I think they're going to probably be working into the night. So we'll go over to here to the commits. Working into the night. Trying to get maybe something finished. Frontier Hazmat. Is that actually going to be a new Hazmat for a DLC? I saw him talk about a special media project for it. Apparently getting a new Hazmat. Alright, cool. We'll see how that turns out. But the main point I'm trying to get across is I don't fully know what will be coming out in terms of the actual update. I can confirm a lot of quality of life changes, though, that you are going to absolutely love and appreciate, and I really do feel like a lot of people are going to be jumping in and, of course, wanting to be, you know, taking a look around and get a good look at all of it. You know, curious people jumping in, wanting to play Rust. Lots of people hopefully appearing tomorrow. I feel optimistic. And I better wrap this up because I've been talking for probably about an hour now, and we got the abnormals in about just under an hour. So yeah, yapping. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, not feeling very optimistic for that furnace for a very clear reason. Twitch drops on the horizon, and I do believe all the Twitch drops will be officially announced tomorrow in the Face Punch blog post. All right, so we'll probably see another 1 or 2 appearing tomorrow as well. Thumbs up, all good. Let's see what we get accepted tomorrow. But now let's skip ahead and let's go do those buy orders. And so with that, right then, people, here we are. I am prioritizing the neon storage, and away we go. God, that's quick. 112. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't fully prepared. Redo. Hey, Thompson, how you doing? All right. Okay, got chains. You're interesting. Nocturnal beast they are. Wow, okay. Everyone's pretty quickish. Client base, large box. We might have problems with you in the future, but we shall see. Hey, Water of Doom, garage door. That was a lot of people jumping in. I'm actually quite surprised in the amount of people that got in so quickly. And it doesn't have that many buy orders in all of them as well. That's the other funny thing. Yeah, everything's here. Damn. Okay. Quick sneaky look at the buy orders already. Okay, that's cool. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Alright, cool. Buy orders are done. So what we'll do now is we'll skip ahead. We'll look at the abnormal barter support and we'll question if we actually want to jump in and buy some of these skins. So that. Right then, people, we're back. So it's been a good 17 minutes. We can see some prices already being noted here. So let's go ahead, take a look at the abnormal barter support and question if we actually want to jump in and make some purchases. So, Neon Small Food Storage. It's pretty much in the exact same position as the fuel storage from the previous week. Now, of course, we had this being accepted afterwards, so the fuel storage flourished. It had a fun time. Will we definitely get Neon Meds tomorrow? Or maybe any other one that might have been submitted in the past? We shall see. So currently, as you might notice, it's already got 83 listings. The lowest listing is currently sitting here at $1.78, and it's kind of making me question things quite a bit. Oh dear. So, will that end up sitting at around $2? Will people jump in and buy those? Remember, when the rust rotates, you tend to get quite a lot of people sitting there thinking, oh no, I missed out, I was waiting till the very last second to make a purchase. Well, maybe we'll see that get cleaned out and pushed up to about $2, especially if we do see another neon storage being accepted tomorrow. So, we're in that interesting spot, and I should also point out the buy order's gone all the way up to $1.40. If you truly needed to buy something, this is fine. Like, you very likely will be able to buy it and sell it and get your money back. As I said, over the course of these next 2 months, the next 2 months are the time period that you're very likely going to want to sell these. You are very likely going to see more of these being accepted. The momentum will stay strong, but it will stop at some point. And then we're very close to the autumn fall seasonal dip, and that's when we scream. All right. So yeah, do what you want. You can still just sit here and do a $1.50 buy order. I don't think that'll probably. I mean, if you want to, but yeah, you could go buy some. Oh look, it's already made a purchase. Just to also point out, I made a video about this. Everything's anonymous now. You cannot see profiles. You cannot see names. Everything is anonymous. So there you go. That happened. Right. So yeah, barter support looking very nice and very strong, all the way and above $1, even higher, pushing all the way up to about $1.40. It's pretty much the exact same thing that we saw last week, the fuel storage. But of course, another one was accepted. So will that bounce up as high as the fuel storage did last week? Remember, fuel storage went up to $4 at one point. Obviously, it went back down because, of course, you know, people who bought it from the Rust store, gradually more and more of them could list theirs, and now we look at the fuel storage listing and it has over 300 quantity. So just point that out. Right, let's now skip ahead and move on to the likes of the Black Diamond Thompson. I stand by my point. I think this one might potentially be very interesting. All black and white Thompsons perform very nicely. Yes, they do. So I think this actually sneakily might end up being a nice investment, and we didn't fully realise it initially. So the price, or rather, the amount that got bought, not that much. 15,000 is my expectation for it to land at, and well, the $3 price, will it ever go below it? I do expect that to still happen. I do expect it to still go below $3 at some point. The buy orders are looking okay. I did my, what was it? I did like a $1.50-ish buy order, and I did like a $2 buy order. I've got that all settled in place. I'm good. I'm happy to pick these up. Like, if this potentially does go down pretty cheap at some point in the future, wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing this easily bounce back up again in the future. Yeah. There's not much else I can say. The barter support looks reasonable. For a $3 skin, it's okay. Could you just do a strong buy order instead of buying it? Yes, you could. You could just put down a $2.50 buy order. You'll very likely end up buying a few here and there as time goes on, but it's the same case. Autumn fall seasonal dip is just a good 2-3 months away. Make sure you sell these for a profit whilst you can. And will we see more skins potentially in the future? I didn't actually make that much of a fuss about this, but a Python was submitted this past weekend. So yeah, this does look like it could continue. We shall see. We shall see. Again, that's also a very nice looking Python. So yeah, alright, we'll just have to wait and see. But personally, I think you could just do a strong buy order on that instead of just going straight for purchases. But if you want one for yourself, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creator designs in the future. Cool looking Thompson. Let's move on. Conflicted on this one I am, yes indeed. This is currently sitting here with 661 requests to buy, the barter support pushing all the way above $1, all the way up to about $1.50, and all the way up to about $1.80. This is a $2.49 skin. Will we see any competition for this at any point over the rest of this, for the rest of this year? I don't know. Leather gloves, a lot of skin creators just don't bother with these anymore because Face Punch hasn't been accepting them for 3 years. But this did get accepted. Now, over the course of this past weekend, I didn't see anyone produce some leather glove skins. But we did see a lot less people submitting skins this past weekend. So, I don't know what else to say, to be honest. It's got decent barter support, but it's still quite a fair bit below its rush store price. So again, if you want some of these, just go put down a strong $2 barter. You very likely will be picking some of these up in the future. Will we see the gold chain skins being accepted? The other ones that we saw submitted in the past? Will we see even more being produced and submitted as well? I don't know. Does it stop here or does it continue? It's so strange because I got nothing to compare to, unfortunately. So we'll just see how it exists from here and now. It's not hard to get leather gloves. Do you want to have lots of gold rings on your fingers? Think of the possibilities. So we'll leave it for that for now. If you want to jump in, the Balder still looks to be the better option. Nocturnal Beast AK-47, it looks to be doing better compared to the standard AK-47, but it still definitely looks like it's going to go below its rush store price. The Balder's basically end at $1.10. Yep, that's happening, so I like the design, it looks cool. I expect to see a lovely batch of these being produced. We've seen the M249. I want to see my Nocturnal Beast squirrel, alright? I want to see a very angry squirrel on a Neoka or something. We'll see. Maybe a badger. What, a deer? You could do that. You could do that. Puma? Yeah, loads of things potentially. But with what we see there, definitely doesn't look like it's going to retain its value. If you truly wanted to try and get this for a cheap barter, you could just put down a bunch of $1.50 barters. Wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if you pick those up at that price. Wouldn't be surprised. But if we do see more of these being accepted, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Eagle's fine. Tiger, owl, loads of things could be made. Go tell him. Go to the workshop page. Here you go. And just sit there and say, hey, buddy, cool idea. Could you have an owl? Could you have a squirrel? You know, all of that. So, yeah, give them ideas. Help them out. Right, next up, what do we have here? Clan-based large box. So I did point this out. We have the BELLUM Twitch drops taking place. The event's going to start in 4 days' time now, because it's technically the 6th for me right here. We're going to have a generic drop, a generic large box skin for free. And it glows in the dark, and it's very bright, and I can't help but assume maybe people just don't feel the need to buy another large box skin. So, knowing that, I don't know what to expect of this. It hasn't sold that much, only about 9,000 subs. There are attempts to continue the set. Will that happen? How many other deplorable collections so far this year stopped at 2 to 3 skins? A lot. This is currently at number 2. That is number 2. Bilders, how are you looking? Well, you basically all the way up to $1, and then you slightly go all the way up to about $1.30, then you stop. Yep, that's the position you're in. I am going to sit here and say, well, you probably could just stick with a $1.50 barter, and you very likely will buy a whole bunch of them. I don't expect a lot of these to be listed, though. That's the thing. Maybe don't go so crazy with the quantity requests. That'd be a shout. That'd be a good shout. All right. Next up, we have the likes of Watcher of Doom Garage Door. So, looking at the state of you, well, again, we are very, very, very concerned, and, well, barders go all the way up to $1, above $1, stop at $1.30. That is basically half the price it's currently selling for in the rush store. That is not retaining its value. You could just put down a $1.50 barter again. Wouldn't be surprised if you pick up a bunch of these. But if we do see continuations, keep an eye out. It might work out quite alright. It might end up in the positive. It might do nicely. We shall see. But it did sell like 18,000 subs, so there's quite a lot of these that were bought. Easily a lot of them could end up in the Steam market. I'm sure you understand. Sweet Dreams Custom SMG, how you doing? Alright, so if we do see more of these Sweet Dream weapon skins being accepted, in recent past we've seen the likes of the L96 and the SAR skin being submitted. Hey, maybe it might work out a fair bit better. I think we probably went a bit too low of our buy orders. A lot of the custom SMG skins that we saw earlier, they're only down by like 10 to 30%. But we'll see, you know. I mean, if we were to buy them at these prices, we could flip them for a better price in the future. But more weapon skins for this collection. Maybe it does work out to be a nice, positive, weapon-only collection. Right, so we'll have to take that into consideration. But, again, do I want to buy some? No, you just better stick with a barter, for sure. Those barters aren't going up that high. So, yeah, there's plenty of room to just stick with doing a barter and pick these up for a much cheaper price than their rush store price. And over to here, we've got the metal poncho and the bandana. They are currently selling for like $1.50 and $1.99 each, so $1.49, $1.99. They sold hardly anything. They sold hardly anything, all right? Where will they end up at? Will we see continuations? I am conflicted, but I feel like I'd just rather stick with playing it safe. Playing it safe means you never really lose that much. You might miss out on things, but you certainly don't lose too much. So we'll just have to wait and see, you know. We had quite a few people complaining about the acceptance of this. Would Face Punch not care and still, you know, accept continuation? We'll see. So that's the position of that, and that is basically everything. So we got everything covered, everything understood. We wait for tomorrow's Rustor. Who knows what potentially could be accepted, but I certainly am definitely questioning it. I would love to find out now, but I'm also prepared for some sweet, delicious depression. So even though we could have all of these potentially picked tomorrow, we could easily end up with none of them. Face Punch decides whether we get to be happy or sad. So yeah, that's basically it. Please consider keeping an eye out for the likes of my Rust Workshop skin checks. Consider giving it a good watch. I do cover all of the collection continuations and a lot of the BELLUM Twitch drops. I do cover all of those. Remember, don't forget, there's chapters for every collection continuation if you just want to skip ahead to something that interests you. And tomorrow's roster rotation is expected to be early. Alright? So please don't forget, with every proper update, with every proper force wipe, the Rustor is usually going to rotate early because they want to have it nice and prepared for when, of course, the force wipe goes through. So Rustor will very likely probably happen between 5 to 6 o'clock UK time in the evening tomorrow. So if you're looking at some of these skins and thinking, oh, I might want to wait until the last second to buy some, you might want to hurry up and figure out if you want to do that. But conveniently, only one skin's kind of looking to be in that sort of position. So figure out if you want to jump in and buy some food storages. You need to figure that out within the next, let's say, 12 hours. But UK time tomorrow, 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening is what I expect. I rarely see it being later after the force wipe. It rarely happens. It can happen, but it rarely happens. So feel free to go ahead and look at TGG's top picks list for the most recent one. Here you go. Get a good look at all of those skins. Looking very nice, looking very cool. Lots of interesting potential skins that could be picked out. Please consider watching my recent Rust Workshop skin checks for June 4, 2024. Even more skins, as you can see over here. Lots and lots and lots to pick from. Which one will be selected? Which one will be picked? We have absolutely no idea. Meow. I should also point out, I'm very sorry to sit here and say, but I actually forgot to add these two skins. We have the Ditto L96 right there, and we also have the likes of the Pack Hunter AK-47. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out indeed. So, sorry about that, Vase. You actually mentioned that to me on YouTube. Oh dear. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I think that's everything. Chat, you feeling optimistic for tomorrow? I'm too used to disappointment, I'm afraid. But look, it's the first proper summer Rustor rotation, force wipe Rustor rotation, I should say. And there's going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be a lot of people looking at a Rustor. And Face Punch, come on now. You've got to know. There's plenty of people who'd like some of the, I mean, that's a perfect selection of things that people would like to see. It's in your hands now. They're going to probably accept the metal hide clothing, aren't they? Oh dear. Right, well that's that. We'll just have to wait and see. Once again, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Do remember, tomorrow's Rustor will be early. Be prepared for that. And that's a wrap. So let's see what the Rustor rotation looks like tomorrow. I am not looking forward to this.